Okay, cool. So we're just going to go over to some corporate updates. Really short corporate call. The corporate call was just super straightforward. They just went over a little bit of mindset stuff, went over the up and coming getaway that's coming up. No huge updates in terms of cards and all that sort of stuff. We're moving into Christmas. So there's a bit of a segue happening there into Christmas. There's going to be one more coin drop, I think, before Christmas. One or two more coin drops. I'm not too sure. But we're hoping for, the last update on the cards, see what's happening on that front. And any other updates that will come off the back of an event that's running in Hawaii. I think there's an event happening right now, a hotspot event. So generally they'll release announcements after the event, which is happening. I think it's this weekend. So we'll know then. They just come off the back of Thanksgiving, which is it's not huge here in our in Australia and New Zealand, but it's massive over there. It's big over there, and I think it might even be a holiday as well. So they do have like a few days off. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but generally that kind of pushes everything back a little bit. But there wasn't any massive updates, guys. I was on there for the whole call, and it was relatively short. It was probably about half an hour. So, no huge updates on the corporate front if you weren't on there. You can always watch a recording if you want. If you don't believe me, go into the back of us and watch the recording. But yeah, it was pretty mellow. There wasn't too much going on, and it's probably going to get a little bit like that as we segue into Christmas. They did run over something that I really, really want to talk to you about, and this is, again, it's based upon marketing. And being December, a lot of people think, well, it's not quite December, it's the 30th, but it's December tomorrow. People tend to pull the foot off the throttle in December when it comes to marketing, when logically speaking, there's actually a lot more eyeballs on your social media in December because we move into holidays. People are on their phone more. People are absorbing information on social media through the holidays because they're not at work. So overall, they're actually consuming more social media through the holiday period because they're not spending time at work. So it is a great time to continue. In other words, don't pull your foot off the throttle. That's what I'm saying. In a nutshell, be consistent. Keep getting in front of people, keep following up, keep doing what you need to do to build your business. That's the bottom line. We need to keep showing up. And even as we move through the Christmas period, obviously things will die down around Christmas, like around, the Christmas days and stuff like that, celebrating the holidays. I've just got I've got two Haleys joining. So I don't know why there's two, but there's two Haleys joining. So as things start to die down, we need to pick it up. As people die down, they're out of work. Okay, they're having time off. We need to pick it up. We need to focus on, again, putting content in front of eyeballs. We know that what we have is a good idea. It's just a matter of putting it in front of enough people to get the response you're looking for. So I'm going to actually move directly into what I was going to talk about tonight and share my screen. So I'm going to do a screen share. There's something I want you guys to look at and really have a think about, because this is something that I think we've gone through massively over the last 2 years. So you guys can see my screen, right? I hope so. You can see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so can you see the comfort zone? Yeah. Just somebody unmute for me to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can see it. Perfect. Okay, cool. I just lost you guys for a second there. Let's pull you in front here. So, okay, wicked. Okay, so here we are. So this is really important to understand. I know a lot of you guys would have seen this before, but I just can't stress this enough how important this is. Because even in the sales process, when we actually look at what we're doing and where people sit in these 3 or 4 zones, over the last 2 years, as we look at like the comfort zone, people feeling safe in that comfort zone. Over the last 2 years, this has been, I guess, evilly pushed upon us to a point where we felt like we had no choice. Okay, we felt like there was no other options, and like it is important to really process this and actually look at, okay, how do we break free out of this comfort zone into the fear zone? The fear zone is an interesting place to be, and I say this a lot when I communicate with people about being in this fear zone, being in the scarcity mindset, and what it feels like and what it's actually doing to you. Now, in this fear zone, the things that happen, number one, your business won't grow when you're in fear, right? You won't grow as a person when you're in fear. So if you're in fear, naturally, you're pushing that off onto others. You're installing fear in other people. Okay, and we look at how we look at this is like you look at these 3 things that are on here, like lack of self-confidence, lack of self-belief, lack of self-worth. In this fear zone, there's a lot of people that are in fear right now. The people that find excuses, procrastination is another one. And, being affected by others' opinions. If you guys, I'm just going to, just minimize that for a second. As I pull that, I might pull it back up. I just can't seem to get you guys in the side here to see your faces. It's not really working. It's sharing my whole screen. When we move out of this fear zone, so we're in this fear zone, okay, the goal is to move out of the fear zone and into the learning zone, into the areas where you're actually starting to educate yourself. You're starting to build belief. Okay, you're starting to build some conviction in what you're really doing. You start acquiring new skills. You start extending your comfort zone. And as we know, comfort does not dance with success. So we need to move out of this fear zone. We need to empower other people to move out of this fear zone. So I always said to people when we're going through these challenging times over the last 2 years, I'd say, if you continue to focus on the problems, you'll be part of the problem. Okay, we need to focus on the problems, be aware and conscious that they're there. Okay, and then we need to go to the next level. The next stage is actually fixing the problems, finding the solutions, being resourceful. Okay, so acquiring the skills that are going to help you become more resourceful. Okay, and help fix these problems. Okay, and this part of this is extending your comfort zone. And then everybody wants to get to the outside. Everybody wants to find their true purpose. Okay, I want to tell you a story. I'm going to stop my screen share because I want to see you guys' beautiful faces. There's other people joining in as well. So I want to share something about, being on the outside of that circle and what it actually feels like. I remember when I first started in this business, when I first started 2.5 years ago, I had really no idea what precious metals were, how this was going to work, how it was going to like mold in with what I was already doing, based upon being a coach for 10 years, based upon dealing with people face to face and helping them with their health and fitness journey. I really didn't have any idea how this would work until I discovered that when you acquire the skills and you actually find your true purpose, because all that network marketing is, guys, is a vehicle. Okay, it's a vehicle to help us move closer to our purpose. Okay, I'm a big believer in, there's 2 reasons why, there's 2 most important times in your life. The time when you're born, okay, that's the first one. Okay, and then the reason why. So when you actually realize why you're here and you're serving your true purpose, everything becomes a lot easier. So I'm gonna share my screen again so I can touch on the other points, and then we'll move on. Okay, so when we do actually find our true purpose, then we can actually start to live our dreams. So we can actually start to spend more time with our family. We can actually start to actually buy back our time. Time is our finest commodity. You know, it's so important how we spend our time and who we spend our time with. Okay, so everybody would say, I want to have all this money, I want to have all this abundance, but really all they're saying is, I want to buy back my time so I can do the things I want to do. Okay, so this is what I discovered. I discovered that time is something that I always had challenges with. I always struggled to deal with the restrictions that I was living upon. I was living upon restrictions. Every day I had to be somewhere at a certain time. And when you remove that, you remove the alarm clock, you remove the scenario of you need to be at a meeting at an exact time, and you start to schedule in what you feel needs to be your perfect lifestyle. I call it styling your life. It's probably the easiest way to put it. Now, when we're in this growth zone, okay, we start to operate with the higher faculties. Okay, if you guys don't know what they are, I won't explain that today because that's deeper mindset stuff. But we start to set new goals. We start to operate at a higher level of frequency, and we start to rub shoulders with people that are meant to be in our business, and things become more powerful. We start to connect with people that are meant to be in our business. They're meant to be with us and working alongside us. Okay, and then we become the ultimate problem solvers. We conquer objectives. Okay, we're resourceful. We come from a place of empathy and leadership. Okay, and this is what it's like being in the growth zone. So we want to move. We want to help our people, right? We want to help our people move from that comfort zone, because we know that comfort doesn't dance with success. So if we can pull people out of that comfort zone, if we can inspire them to move out of that comfort zone, to move to a place that's uncomfortable, but it's not uncomfortable forever. And that's why I always talk about, like, when I get you guys or I empower you guys to do videos and do things that are outside of your comfort zone. Where's Daniela? Daniela, can you unmute? I want to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
How are you? Now, how did it feel to do your first video today?
Well,
your first live stream?
I was really nervous, but I had to update myself. I took notes and I knew what I wanted to say, but I was scared. And for half an hour after, I was still shivering and shaking.
This is natural. This is a natural response.
And I didn't want to do it, but I did. And so.
And how do you feel now that you've done it?
Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself, and I feel like there's an achievement, and now I know I can do it, and I'm starting to plan my next one.
This is how easy it is, and this is that breakthrough that I'm talking about. So let me go back to sharing my screen for a second and see if we can. So you got the comfort zone. Okay, now you guys are showing up on the side. I don't know what happened before. So comfort zone, fear zone, and learning zone. Okay, so obviously Daniela's been hanging out in this learning zone for a while. Okay, and she's just broken through. She's just broken through. So this is her first breakthrough. Okay, and it's confronting, right? It's like going from the shallow water to the deep water, and now she's broken through. She's like, okay, like, I know I can do this. I know I can do videos. I know I can talk about this business with posture, with conviction, and it changes everything. So I invite you guys to go out and do things that are uncomfortable. Okay, I don't say go and do don't go and do a nude run. That's not what I mean. Okay, so what I mean is doing things that that push you, that stretch you, that challenge your mind. Because this is where your business will grow. If you don't grow yourself, your business won't grow. Okay, so I just want to invite you guys to really think about where you are. Are you in the comfort zone? Are you sitting in fear? Because where you're sitting is what you're propelling. Okay, if you're sitting in fear, you're installing fear in everybody in your network. Okay, all your content that you're writing is as you write that content, you're writing that with a fear mindset. Okay, are you in the learning zone? Okay, are you absorbing information but not quite confident enough to put it out there yourself? So this is where this becomes very important. And these are the key fundamentals. It starts with mindset. I remember when I used to coach in the gym, and I would sit down with a consult, and I'd sit down. I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of consults. And I'd sit down with somebody and I'd say, what's the catalyst that brought you in here today? And I'd get a whole range of different answers. But I'd just say, congratulations, you've made the first step. The first step is getting through the door. You know how many people I've known that actually go to do something and they pull out and they go like, oh, I can't do that. They back up and they're like, no, it's too confronting. It's too much. You know, it's like that person that's going for the skydive and they're going like this and pulling themselves back. This is exactly what I'm talking about, because it's uncomfortable. It's something you haven't experienced before. But just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean it can become part of your reality or part of your future. Maybe you're just not quite ready. Maybe you need some more skills. Okay, maybe you need a bit of a push, okay, to get you there. So I just wanted to share that, because I feel that mindset is really where people struggle. It is something that is very prominent. It's something that's so important in business. Okay. And operating in this area of comfort, as we know, will not allow our business to flourish. So I wanted to share something on that, okay, on mindset today, because I'm just in that mood. I'm in that mindset mood. I love talking about mindset. I love talking about business growth. I love talking about marketing and skills as well. But is there anybody on this call? Okay, I want to ask a question. Is there anybody on this call that is like hell OCD, like real OCD, like everything has to be perfect? Is there anybody on here that everything has to be perfect? Okay.
I'm a bit like that.
Okay. So I want to share something on this. I think having you know, initially when I first started out, I thought that everything had to be perfect, right? But if you feel that everything has to be perfect, then what do you think your people are feeling? They need to know everything. They have to know everything about the business and everything about the products and everything before they get started. So they get into paralysis by analysis. They spend their whole time just thinking and churning out business products, collectibles, bullion, and they need to know everything, right? Keep it simple. Keep it simple, okay? Just because we're that way doesn't mean our people need to be that way. So we need to get on their level and establish what are the aspects of 7K that you like most. Has anybody ever asked that question? Can I just throw that out there? Has anybody ever asked that question? Or are we living in this world that we just presume what people want and what people need and what people like? What are the aspects of 7K that you like based upon what you've seen? This is key, because it's understanding what they've enjoyed, okay? So you can focus on that. Focus on what they've said, not what you presume. Marketing is not about presuming what people think. Okay, so this is super important. These are really some of the key things when I communicate with people, that we focus on uncovering their needs Okay, and then we ask the right questions, okay, to establish what are the things that they're wanting to focus on. Because just because we like a certain aspect of this business or this or the product range, or whatever's inside the membership, right? If it's stack and sell, if it's sell money wallet, autosaver, loyalty points, it doesn't mean that that's something that they're going to enjoy. So we need to establish, based upon what you've seen, what are the aspects of 7K that you like, so that we know, okay, this is going to be the catalyst. This is what I can give them some more information on. This is how I can help them get started. I'm just reading in the comments. I'm going to go through the comments in a second. There's a lot of comments coming through. Wow. Or is it just mainly Haley? Network marketing 101. Yeah. What did you most like about that content and video? It's exactly right. It's about establishing what they enjoyed, so that you can work from there. You got a point of reference. It's so much easier talking to something about, would you guys agree? Would you guys agree that it's easier to talk to somebody about something they enjoy or that they're interested in than trying to convince them on something they're not? Would you agree? It's so much easier, right? So we need to focus on the things that they're already interested in. So if they're interested in bullion, then that's cool. We show them the Sound Money wallet, right? We show them how easily they can do it, you know, how they can transact member to member. We even get them on a Zoom and show them live and say, look, this is how easy it is, right? If they're interested in the collectibles, we show them some of our favorite collectibles. Yeah, why we like them. What is it what are the aspects that drew you to collectibles? Maybe it's the same that, you know, maybe initially for them it was, you know, basketball cards or Pokemon cards, or, you know, collecting stamps or whatever, or maybe their grandparents, you know, collected gold and silver coins when they were younger. So it's embedded in them collecting, right? Or maybe it's you know, the stack and sell aspect, where we can see our portfolio, where there's transparency, you know, where there's the ability to see if the coins are actually real. There's an open market, right? These things we need to establish. So we need to ask them what they enjoyed most. Okay, so that moves me on to my next question. So I'm really just pulling information from you guys, so I can understand really where people are sitting in terms of, you know, in their business, the struggle points, and what we can work through and what we can actually, I guess, move you guys through to help you build a stronger foundation in your business. So the next thing I wanted to ask, is, when you are that OCD person, and I know Haley is that OCD person, she just said it this before. The OCD person, right, needs to have structure. Now, answer this, guys, and I want you to be honest. Okay, I'm not going to point fingers and say, why didn't you do this? Now, who in here has an actual marketing planner? Do you plan your marketing? Is it something you do? Okay. Do you plan your day?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you plan your marketing? Everything is about structure, right? And I know this because I was useless at this, right? I started to understand that business is about structure, and we fit it into our life. Okay. It's just about having the tasks. If we write the tasks down, we'll do them. Okay. If we don't write them down and they're not in front of us, it's easy to make an excuse. And that excuse, what that excuse will do for us, it'll make us unfulfilled. Right? It'll completely it'll be like, and then you'll spend your whole night going, oh, I should have done that video, or oh, I should have, I should have posted that story, or oh, I should have, done that call, or hopped on that call, or done that meeting or that presentation. Structure is everything. Okay, tick them off. 1, 2, 3. Right. That way, you're going to feel fulfilled. At least you're doing the income producing activities. And at the end of the day, you feel fulfilled because you've actually done what you've set out to do. You've set your goals. And this is why I follow a marketing planner. And I'm going to show you guys this marketing planner. I'll show you a bit of an insight as to what I do on a day-to-day basis. This is one part of it. Because of my natural personality, which is I'm a procrastinator. So I needed to install something in my life that was going to create structure. That was going to create, I guess, the importance of actually fulfilling tasks, not being that DIY rescue person, right? Now, there's some of these tasks, I mean, depending on how busy you are, this might change for you, that this might change based on your lifestyle. Some of these tasks you might outsource. Maybe you've got young kids, right? Maybe you've got other businesses. Maybe you've got other things that you need to focus on. So there's no, and you've got, a bit of money there where you can actually outsource some of these tasks. A lot of these tasks I do myself, but, I have a bit of time. I don't have any children. So, I don't have those challenges. And I actually enjoy doing this stuff. So I'm going to pull up something that's going to give you guys an insight as to what this kind of looks like. Just let me find it quickly. This one here. And I'll need to share my screen. Share screen. All right. Okay. Can you guys see that all right? Okay. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So any questions as we go through this? Don't be scared to ask. So this is like a breakdown of my marketing. I want to show you the breakdown of my marketing channels. Okay, so what I use, okay, when it comes to marketing on social media, okay? So there's the strategies, but as we come down, okay, so marketing channels, you've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and email, okay? These are my main marketing channels, okay? So eventually you're going to build up a bit of a database, and you're going to build up a relatively solid audience. Again, like I said, if you're focusing on Facebook, just do that and do that well. Just do that first. Build an audience on Facebook. Then you can start to introduce new marketing channels. Okay, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I'll show you how I break it down. Okay, so quite often I'll be adding to this, but from 6 to 9 a.m., these are my focuses, okay? Personal profile, fan page, Instagram, open group, Sound Money Secrets Builders group. Okay, so video share, check email, business email, okay, reply to emails. Okay, this is all structure. Like this is really important, because I know that in the first 3 hours from when I wake up, okay, this is what I need to complete. Anything else is a bonus. Anything else is a bonus. Okay, so I could do all of this. I could do all of this from my phone. I could do all of that from mobile, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, and it's really straightforward. And then 12 to 1 p.m. Okay, and these all change for you. So personal experience or personal development video on stories. Okay, so sharing a little bit about mindset, sharing a little bit about my journey, my struggles, all that sort of stuff, to help people have breakthroughs. Okay, so we start talking to people's pain. Okay, client shout out or testimonial. That can be a rank up. It could be somebody having success in the business. It could be somebody's like, maybe they've got 30 ounces of silver now, or they've hit their goal, or it could be anything, right? Anything along, any wins, okay? Any wins, and that's on my fan page, okay, which I've just started building again. Okay, a branded graphic. Okay, so a branded graphic is obviously our brand, Sound Money Secrets. Okay, and I'll go in Canva and I'll build out a branded graphic. This is stuff that you don't have to do. It just really like mixes up your content and makes this fun as well. Okay, a post and profit project is another one of my groups, and then I just work my way through here. Okay, so as you see how it's set out, is super straightforward. It's what's there is what I need to do. This is what I need to complete from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Once I've done, I might do it in an hour. I might do it in 30 minutes. If I'm doing a reel, it might take me a bit longer. If I'm doing a Facebook story, I'm a bit quicker. And like I was talking to Haley the other day, and she might want to, chime in on this as well. If you have a really busy schedule, right, you can prepare all your content on one day and then filter it across the rest of the week. So if you just want to do a content building day, I find that quite difficult. I like doing things on the fly because my mind just like operates. It just keeps like, I just keep having ideas coming. Oh, I was going to do that. I'll do that on the fly. But if you're somebody that like sitting down and I guess putting all your content, cultivating all your content at once, and then layering it over the week, then that's up to you. How you do this is up to you. This is just a framework. It's just a blueprint. Okay. So if you want a copy of something like this, you can change this. It's editable. I'll send you guys a copy, and you can use this as your template. Okay, and change it around. It might not be 6 till 9. It might be 6 till 8 or 6 till 7 or 7 till 8. It's up to you. Again, you're designing your life, right? You're not being controlled by someone else. So this is where you actually start to move towards actually treating this like a business. Because if you just kind of do things on the fly and you have no structure, like I have this on my phone as well. I open it up. Okay, what do I need to do next? It's like dumb, right? It's like there. So I know, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z before this time. Once I completed it, tick that off. If I don't do it, I don't hang myself out to dry. If I don't actually complete it, but I know, okay, at least I've done something today. Because you guys would know working from home is actually quite difficult because there's so many distractions, right? One of my biggest distractions is reaching into the fridge because it's right there, right? Like, we all like, I love eating, right? But it's so the temptations are right there, right? Social media is there. You end up scrolling. You lose focus, and the TV's on. If you're somebody that watches TV, I don't watch TV very often, but there's so many distractions. Okay, structure will defeat your distractions. Okay, that's key. Is any observations on this? Any inputs on this? I'd love to hear your guys' insights. Okay, because this I get excited about this stuff because having something like this is like a tool to make sure that I'm accountable. Because this filters down. Like if people don't see me in the space, like if I go missing for like a week or something, people are like, where's Cole? Like, why isn't Cole posting on social media? Like over my birthday, I wasn't posting. It's like, well, where you been? Like, what happened? Like, I was having a few days off social media, right? Just relax. So my eyes got sore. But this is where it's important to manage your business like it's a business, not a hobby. Okay. Is there anything? Do you want to like have any input with this, Haley, or are you kind of busy or
Multitasking a bit.
Oh,
I would love to be able to batch my marketing. I seen that post that Lindsay and Jenna did this morning, that they've just created 4 months of batched content for the first 4 months of next year. I wish my brain worked that way and I was that organized, but I find I'm more like, especially with my stories and things like that, I post things on the fly. Like if I, just in the moment, if something's on my mind or if I see something in one of the groups, and kind of put something up when I get a moment. That works best for me. Otherwise, I think sometimes if I don't work in flow, I'll sit down at a time to create content and I can't think of anything. For me, it has to be in the moment to put it up, like something that's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But I like having a checklist though, because sometimes you can sit down and go, where do I start? What do I got to do today? So I think a checklist helps my brain, because sometimes you can get stuck in your Facebook news feed. You can be stuck in your email, and you kind of get to the end of the day and you go, I haven't really done anything that's income producing.
That's right. And you don't feel fulfilled. This is what I'm saying, is if you do get stuck in your news feed, or you do get stuck in your email, or you do get stuck in, watching reels or YouTube, and you just get distracted and down a big old rabbit hole. Okay, that number one, that's not building your business. Okay. Now, the reason this happens is like what Haley's saying. You sit down and you don't know what to do. You're like, oh, finally, I've got some time. Well, what am I going to do? So if you do have a checklist, maybe a structured checklist would work better for you. Like having a checklist of, okay, these are the tasks that I could do when I do get time to sit down. That way, at least your content is getting in front of eyeballs. Because if you're doing nothing, number one, your people aren't doing anything. So if your people aren't seeing you out in the space, right, out in the social media space, then the odds are they're probably not doing anything either, because it's easier to hide, right? It's easier just to hide and just go, oh, nobody's looking. Like that person that hides at the back. So we want to be continuous, okay? We want to be consistent, okay? And we want to make sure that, we're persistent with our marketing and doing it when we can, okay? And as often as we can. But again, across, if you have a bit of a network already, you have a bit of a following, you have a bit of an audience, you can do it across a few different platforms. Right now, I've been going hard with Reels. I've been going hard with YouTube Shorts, and I've been going hard with Instagram Reels as well. Sorry, Facebook Reels as well, because this is where the audience are hanging out. This is what people are looking at. So maybe that's something we can do a training on. I've been doing quite a bit of social media training lately with my upline. With another guy that's in 7K in the business as well. We just did a generalized training. Now, when I get the recordings, okay, I got the recordings to the first one. Once I get the recordings to the second one, let me know. Bloody hell, I can't even say that. Let me know if you guys want the recording, okay? Because that's a full breakdown. It's an hour and a half. There's 2 hour-and-a-half trainings that we did, okay, on marketing, okay? And I think it's important. We need to move with the times, okay? The Facebook algorithms are changing. They're changing a lot, and you'll see your content maybe is not as receptive as it was. Okay, maybe they're shadow banning, things like silver. Maybe there's aspects that you're saying or in your content that's not receptive to your audience, and it's not getting a reaction. Okay. Now, what's happening with social media now is because people's attention spans are shit, right? They have a very short attention span, right? That's why you'll see this meeting go from 11 people, and then 10, and then 9, You know, it's not because people are getting bored, it's because something's distracted them in the background. You know, the kids are running around or something and they get distracted. The attention span of people right now is like inside a minute. So we need to use short-term or short, I guess, like short content, okay, to then lure people into our bigger pieces of content. If that's a post, if that's a YouTube video, if that's a I guess yeah, a video you've recorded or a live video or whatever it might be, or a webinar. Okay, we need to lure them in. Can we do that through our stories, our reels? If you got a TikTok channel or whatever you're using, okay. Right now, I would say just focus on Facebook, because Facebook has it all. Facebook's got reels, it's got stories, okay. But reels is where people are hanging out, okay. And you can really be creative with your marketing inside of reels, okay.
Can I just say,
Yep, no, where you go.
I know Marnie, I don't think she's on this call, but I seen a post from her last week and she just got like a new, one of those special lights, and she said she was gonna up her content game, and she's been putting out some really interesting reels.
You mean one of these, like a light like this?
Yeah, one of the lights. Yeah, I've got one that I don't really use that much. I'm like, it reminds me I should probably use that. But yeah, some of them are just really funny too. One that I seen earlier, it was her ringing. She's like, me trying to ring all the people who have their something about their opinions and paying bills.
Yeah, in other words, their opinions don't pay your bills.
Yeah, and her ringing and just
she's hanging onto a phone, and there's a ringing noise in the background.
Yeah, and it was just really funny. And it was just really short, but just creative. And she's putting it, so if anyone's connected with Marnie, or even if they're not, maybe we can share it and go have a look. And
I actually stole that piece of content. You can actually use the same template. So I used the same template, and then I used it for. I changed it to the caption to it like MLM cold calling, and what it feels like MLM cold calling, and like some funny expressions on my face. So you can really play around with this.
Okay. I didn't know you could do that. So there you go.
Yeah, so you can actually hijack. I'll show you guys now. So if you see something you like and you're inside of Reels, if you guys don't know where to get to Reels, you go to the hamburger menu on your Facebook, okay, and then you'll see Reels there. Okay, you see that? You just click on Reels, okay, and then you click up the top. You click up the top, so you guys see there at the top where it's got my face at the top. Okay, and then it'll take you. So you can to create a reel is really straightforward, but to hijack the reel is down the bottom there. See that, Hayley? Down there.
Oh yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah.
So down the bottom, you can actually use it, the template, and you just create your own, kind of thing that you want to do. It's up to you how you want to kind of piece the content together. But again, you want something that's creative. You want something that's going to create interaction, and just have fun with it. I did one the other day as well. You guys might have seen it. You might have not. Where I put a piece of content out where I focused on showing. I said, "Hey guys, I've got something to show you. Check this out." Okay, and then it kind of moved on to the next part of the reel, and there was a silver coin, and then it moved on to the next part of the reel, which was me talking about how we've been stacking gold and silver 2.5 years. This is how we do it, like yada yada yada. Okay, and then it moved on to the next part where I talked about the US debt clock, and then I went over the US debt clock in about 10 seconds, and then the last part was showing the US debt clock, how from 2009 it was 9 trillion. and it's now 31 trillion. They continue to keep printing money. Money printing is at an all-time high, and then it showcased those numbers. So this way you're using something that's creative and fun, and you're actually implementing it as a business tool. Does that make sense? It does? Are you shaking your head, Deb, or are you going like, oh, I don't know, it's scary? Yeah, okay, so this is like foreign ground for a lot of people, right? This is like foreign territory. But once you learn how to do it, it's actually quite cool. Like, has anybody here ever done a reel before? Has anybody done a reel before? Pia, have you done a reel before? Oh, see, this is initially why we start to.
There we go.
Have you ever done a reel before?
I have never done a reel. No.
Oh my God. I challenge everybody in here to do it. By next week, I want you to do a reel. Okay, get in there and learn how to do it. Just get in there and just if you mess it up, just delete it. Like, get in there. It doesn't even have to be you saying anything. This is a cool thing. It doesn't even, if you don't like getting on video, then you just use someone else's video or a video you've found, put it together, look at the problems that we have. Okay, what are the problems? Somebody tell me what the one of the biggest problems is with what we talk about with 7K. Somebody tell me. Just unmute and tell me. Go on Google, right? Type in inflation, right? Go to the what do we call it? Like the pictures area, right? The photos, okay? Steal one of those photos where it shows the the dollar depreciated in the purchasing power, okay? And then all you need to do is you go and steal a piece of content from like Robert Kiyosaki, right? You steal that piece of content, put that next to that piece of content, okay? And he's talking about inflation, right? Or you can just have a short 10-second mention of what inflation is, right? Inflation has been affecting us for this long, and just have a little bit of a, maybe write it down, then say it. Make it easy for yourself. I know this stuff's like, it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, but this is short form content, right? Short form content, hook people in, okay, and then it pushes them towards long form content, because people's attention span is like 30 seconds to a minute. So you have this long post, right? Why do you think somebody's going to read that long post? What are the triggers? What are the emotional triggers to them? It has to be really good content. Otherwise, they're not going to read it, right? They read the first part and then they're just like, oh, anyway, next, keep scrolling. There has to be something compelling. There has to be a well-written title, a hook, okay? A hook saying, have you heard about this? Is inflation still affecting your family? Like all of these, like you just use hooks and then you speak about a story, okay? And then you have a close. You do exactly the same thing when you're putting together a reel. That content formula is the same. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is all about challenging yourself.
Yes.
Initially, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I remember when I first did I want to tell you guys something before I finish up. I remember when I did my first ever live video. And I was in the dark. Would you believe that? I was sitting in the dark and it was like dark and you couldn't see my face. And it was just like, I was like talking, like mumbling to myself and like super unconfident and like talking about something that's like way out of my comfort zone. I was in that growth zone. I was in the comfort zone and I was pushing into the fear zone. I was like, what do people think? Judgment, And then I realized over time, as I became more comfortable being uncomfortable, I learned that I need to share this message. I need to pass on this information. I need to convey what I have to people. You know, I need to step into my power, right? Because at the end of the day, and I'll summarize with this, I can tell you all of these things, but I can't do it for you. I can tell you, I can give you all the skills, I can give you the marketing strategies, I can give you the mindset hacks and all this sort of thing, but I can't do it for you. Yeah, we gotta take action. Action is key. Small steps first. Just take the little steps first, the 1%ers. The 1%ers are everything. Just be better tomorrow, and then better the next day, and then better the next day. And it soon adds up. Okay, and then you kick out all the shit habits, and you just keep putting in good habits and more good habits and more good habits. Right? From as soon as you wake up, you introduce good habits. Habits are everything. If you guys haven't read that book, Atomic Habits, that's a great book. A good book to read. Okay, it'll teach you some real like life skills, what to do and what not to do. So I just want to finish with this. Is there anything else you want to add, Hayley, before I finish up? She must be busy. I want to finish with this. Now, just remember that what you do on a day-to-day basis is everything. People are always watching. Would you believe that I've had people come back to me after 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, saying, okay, Cole, I changed my mind. I've changed my opinions. I've realized that like what you're doing is actually something that's good. It blows my mind. And this is because of consistency. It's because I moved out of that fear zone. And I made a conscious decision and a deliberate decision to change the way I showed up on social media and to be consistent with it and to not worry about other people's opinions. Okay, because other people's opinions don't pay your bills, right? This is why I love that reel, because it was bang on. Other people's opinions don't pay your bills. So stop worrying about them, right? All right, guys, we're going to finish up. Is there anything else you guys want to say, or observations, or any inputs before we finish?
Thank you for the growth getting forward.
Oh, I just enjoy it. Like, I mean, it's so good to see people getting out of their comfort zone, because, and I know Hayley will agree with this, we weren't always like, I definitely wasn't a really confident person when I first started the network marketing. I was shit scared. I was one of those people that were like, oh, my friends, you know, like, will they still have beers with me if I like promote this product, you know, like, what will they think, you know? And then the discovery that I had was so important, and it took time. But eventually I decided, or I had that epitome, right? Or epiphany, should I say, that I was actually moving closer to my purpose by actually doing things that I was uncomfortable with. And I started to do it more often. And I realized this is where the growth actually happens. So this is why I always challenge you guys. This is why I always push you guys. This is why every time we come on here, it's like, oh, what's he going to hit us with now? Another curveball. But really all it is this business is about challenging yourself. It's about having fun. It's about getting uncomfortable. Because it's easy to have a job, right? It's easy to get up and go to work. Trust me. When you put some of these challenges in front of people, they go, oh, no, I'll get up and go to work any day of the week, instead of doing these challenging, these simple challenges. Like, let's do a reel, right? What, 8-hour day or 60 seconds, like, you know? have some fun with it, guys. Like, I really appreciate you guys showing up as well. We know
Can I
that
just
80.
say something?
Yeah. Sure.
I think my biggest thing that's holding me back is I already am in a multi-level marketing company at the moment, an MLM company, and I can't be in another one.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be out there putting my
Yeah, I got you.
face out there and them know that I'm doing something else. Because I mean, I got into it because I like the idea of collecting gold and silver. And I'm happy to talk to people and getting them in when I get my head around it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that I want to do the whole social media thing.
Yeah.
And have, you know.
No, that's understandable based upon your situation.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be all right.
Yeah, totally. Based upon your situation, personally, if I was you, I would just focus on working them in the DMs. So just in the direct message, and speaking to them through the direct message.
Yeah.
Until you know you feel like you want to go all in. And just do it that way. Do it a little bit, you know, like on the ghost, and just stay in the background a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's purely because, you know, we're in an industry where I guess there's a lot of jealousy and you know, I don't want you to have two streams of income, when really what they say is they want you to have an amazing lifestyle, but they don't want you to have multiple income streams and diversify.
You know, they don't conflict at all.
I know. And it's this happens a lot, and it is crazy. It does blow my mind. But again, I'm not in a company like that, any company like that will do that. Otherwise, I won't. I'll probably discontinue.
I think they're probably worried I'm going to take my customers.
Oh, you must be good, Dev, if they're going to take all their customers.
No, my own customers.
Oh, your own. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. People will do as they please.
Yeah. I think if they thought I was ringing through my customer list to do this, I think I'd have to be careful. But I mean, I'm going to sort of work around it a bit.
Yeah, I think you know, it's about giving people options. When you talk to your leaders a lot, you know, they'll definitely be open, right, to talking about it. But I mean, their decision is their decision, and you're not going to say like that they have to build this business, but you're helping educate that this is a good idea. Maybe they're making commissions. Okay, what are you doing with your money? You know, a lot of people earn a lot of commission, but they don't know what to do with their money. So us as leaders, we help give them, and I said this to Pia earlier as well, we help give them a strategy. You know, we help educate them and give them a strategy so that they have some options on what they can do with their commissions. Because generally, consumerism comes back in. It's like, oh, I'm earning all this commission. Oh, I can live this lavish lifestyle. And they just blow all their earnings, right? Because they don't have the money mindset. They don't have the discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you can help them with that.
That's why you won't be seeing my reels on Facebook.
Hey, look, that's fully understandable. Fully understandable.
I will practice them for my other business.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is transparent. This is transparent. This is across the board.
I'll do it to make myself do it.
Yeah, these skills, and I will say this just before we finish. Now, when you do a reel or when you do a piece of content, right? So for instance, Deb, with your current business, you already have some knowledge on that business, right? So you know what problems it's fixing. So you know how to put that piece of content together because you have the posture on the product, the company, and maybe what the you know the problems are that it's fixing. So it becomes a lot easier for me. 7K, I mean, putting content for 7K together is not hard because I present on it every week, and I know what the problems are. I know what's going on in the economy and in the world, and there's a lot of corruption. So talking about these things it comes naturally. But if you've got a problem, maybe a product, it's maybe a health-based product, or whatever it might be, or travel product, whatever, you can work a different angle, okay, based upon what you have.
Yeah.
So yeah, just do it with your current company. That's cool. It doesn't matter. It's all about building confidence with the skills.
And then Pia will see it and she can share it to you to see if it works.
Pia will see it and she'll be like, oh, that's epic. Hey. Oh, I love it. All right, well, we're going to finish up. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Is this going to like on every week?
Yeah. So we have this call every week. This is our team call. You'll find different faces pop up. Some go, some come. It's just it's just mainly because of the time.
So if I put it in my diary for 4:30 on a Wednesday.
Yeah. 4:30 on a Wednesday.
In Melbourne.
We do it every week. We're gonna do a couple more before Christmas, and then we'll knock off for a few weeks, and then we'll start in the new year.
Schedule it in.
Yeah,
I'm
schedule it
scheduling
in.
it now.
Schedule it into your schedule. And guys, if you guys want the marketing planner as well, let me know, and then you can have a play around with that as well. I'll send you a copy, and you can kind of like work it with your own kind of schedule, because it won't look like that. Maybe it won't be as full, but it'll be there, and it'll be something you can use and a tool you can use. All right, guys. Beautiful. Have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget presentation tomorrow night. If you forget, it's a presentation tomorrow night. No Q&A this week, Q&A next week. Okay, be the last one for the year probably. Okay, cool. Awesome. See you guys. Catch you soon. Bye.
Thank you.